Hey everybody, welcome to Health Matters. My name is Ryan O'Connor. This is a series in conjunction with Cipla. And if you have been following, liking, and being a part of the journey so far, we're in conversation with dietitian Abigail da Cruz, who's been very helpful in explaining gut health to us. Abigail, it's lovely to have you back chatting with us again in Health Matters. This time we start a conversation with microbiomes. But before that, I hope you're well. Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, very welcome. Thanks for having me here, Ryan. It's always a pleasure.
Now, the last time you gave us an overall holistic look at gut health and the importance of that, but I want to go a little deeper this time around, and I want to talk a little bit about having a healthy gut microbiome and what that means. I know we've heard it's beneficial to us, but tell us a little bit more about that gut microbiome and how important it is to help prevent disease.
So the gut microbiome, studies are showing there's just more and more information coming out of how important our gut is to our overall health. We can see that there are so many different ways that they are linked. One of the biggest ways that we can see this link is through the gut-brain axis. I know we talked about it before, but it's this connection between the two, our guts and our brain, in constant communication. And if we look at how it prevents disease, there's multiple ways that it's working. We can see that, for example, if you look at your physical health, how does that work? How does gut health even affect weight? We know that the different types of bacteria you have in your gut, they're going to digest foods in a different way. And it actually is affecting how your energy is taken out of your foods, how much, how is it stored. We can see that then influences on weight. We can also see how gut plays a role with our mental health. Think of your gut. You've got over 90% of your feel-good hormone, serotonin, being produced in your gut. So if your gut health is not good and you've got a bad diversity of gut bacteria, you're going to have less serotonin being made, which is actually linked to symptoms of depression and anxiety.
It's winter at the moment, and I know that in winter, often people get what's called, people say it's the seasonal change that brings on colds and flus, and our immunity seems to take a bit of a dip. What is the link between our gut health and our immune system?
Yeah. So there's actually a very big link, and it's quite complicated. So let me try explain it shortly. So when we've got our non-digestible foodstuffs, which is mostly fiber that come into our gut, the bacteria then digest that fiber into something called short-chain fatty acids. And these byproducts, these short-chain fatty acids, they help with maintaining the gut lining. And a really good maintained gut lining, what that does is it prevents bad bacteria from entering into our systems. It helps that immune system become more sensitive. So we can say that the gut helps to actually train your immune system in terms of what is a good or an unharmful bacteria versus what is a harmful bacteria. And the second way is that your gut is got a lot to do with immune cell production. So your B cells, T cells, which are your fighter guys of your immune system, they're actually produced and stored within your gut. So if you have an unhealthy gut, you can see that is often linked to a poorer immune system and more chances of getting sick and recurrent infections.
There's a new word, and it links to what you spoke about previously about mental health and mental well-being that's been used at the moment. And I want you to help me unpack it and explain what it means. Psychobiotics. What is psychobiotics, and what should we be learning about how that operates within us?
Okay, so psychobiotics is relatively a new term, and really it's just talking about probiotics being used in the treatment of mental health conditions. So psychobiotics is a lovely little term, psych being psychology and biotics from your probiotics. I put the two together. Really, they are probiotics, just those specific strains that have been shown to help with the treatment of mental health conditions. And we know from this link of the gut-brain axis that just explained serotonin and how that links, we can see that the study is still out. So all of this research is still ongoing and we don't know all the answers yet. But we're starting to see that if we add supplementation of a probiotic into a mental health space and a picture, we see that it actually helps with as an adjunct therapy to to the other medications and to psychological intervention, it helps with managing their depression and anxiety. And I think there's two ways here. When we're becoming a bit more aware of our gut and how our gut links with our mental health, we see patients, yes, they're starting on the probiotics, but they also start improving their dietary intake at the same time. So it's both ways working to help the situation.
I like the fact that you've given us basically a free session here, as you did previously as well, and that people should be paying for this and coming to see you as a dietitian. But on that note, isn't it incredible how people have to get to a point in their lives where they're almost get told you have to go see a dietitian because of, and then you can fill in why you need to see one. Whereas you should be seeing one, even if you think you're perfectly healthy. That there's no better time to make an appointment to go see somebody like yourself to have a look at and see what it is I'm taking into my body. My level of gut health, what I'm doing to make my life better, what I'm doing for longevity, that there's no better time than now to go and see a good dietitian.
100%, Ryan. The old school mentality was when I'm sick, I'm then going to go to the doctor and get treated.
Yeah.
Healthcare is completely changing. We are now focusing on health promotion. You prevent disease rather than curing it. And one of the biggest ways that we can prevent any chronic disease is through our diets. There's actually studies that show 40% of all cancer patients can be prevented just through proper nutrition. So it just shows you. And if anyone is out there looking for a dietitian, you're always welcome. There's our association, the Dietetic Association of South Africa. They've got a really great website. You can go on and find a professional within your area. It's never too late. And please don't think that dietitians, we are a diet police. I've heard that too.
I love that, Abigail. And so, because in the mind, people have never been, kind of think, well, all those things that I've loved in the past that have kind of not been good for me, they're all going to be taken away by the dietary police.
Yeah, completely not. I myself am an absolute food lover. I tell my patients, and it's completely true, I have dessert every day. I do. You can still have all of your favorite things. It's about learning how to include that into a healthy diet. And if you're a busy person on the go, it's not an excuse. We can actually, just with a few short, sustainable, small changes, we can make actually a really big impact.
Abigail da Cruz, so much more than a dietitian. Like, subscribe, and of course be a part of the Health Matters journey, proudly brought to you by Cipla.